I'm hearing something really interesting for you in for April, Gemini. Spirit is saying, live your life in April like you're in a folk tale. That's a very specific message. What do they mean? If you are in a folk tale and you are walking through the woods and you find that a garden snake is trapped in some vines and it asks you for help, you free the snake from the vines, right? Or do you not? Choose your own adventure. But you may find that the snake that you unwind, the humble snake, it has no venom, it has, no real fangs to speak of, so there's nothing in it for you. And yet, the good that you do comes back around to you, directly or indirectly. Perhaps for some, the snake, turns into the handsome prince or the beautiful princess, and they're like, thank you so much for your help, I've fallen in love with your sweetness. Or perhaps they turn into the benefactor, who is like, I see your generous heart and I will shower riches upon you now. Or maybe you walk past them and you say, yeah, I have that to give, I don't feel like giving it, or I don't care for snakes, or etc. And well, there goes your benefactor. There goes your handsome prince or princess. The good that you do does come back around to you, so please act like it. This is a belief in folk tales, right? And I'm not, Spirit is like, there really is like a Ten of Cups style, happily ever after. This is another phrase that they're using really specifically. There's like a double your money when you act generously, when you act like you are in community, when you behave as if you have more than enough to give. Again, let's say someone in a folk tale, the child, right? There's often an abandoned child in the woods in these old folk tales, and maybe they have one one crust of bread in their pocket, and that's all they have as they navigate the woods. But they come across, the starving mouse, and they do give what little bit of bread they have. They share it with this humble mouse, and then all of a sudden, again, boom, a big pile of treasure. So be generous. Act like your goodness means something, because it does. Because the universe sees it. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't see the ripple of karma. Sometimes you will. I feel like in April you will. And that's the only reason they're putting this so strongly, is like, in April you will. So if you believe in karma, instant or otherwise, act like you're in a folk tale. Act like you are the protagonist in your own folk tale. Hi. Welcome to your April reading. Spirit had to kick it off hard and fast. Now let's get into some cards for you, Gemini. We're going to pull a persona card to see how you are showing up as the protagonist of your story. And then we're going to pull the lay of the land in April. Spirit, want to know anything we need to know for Gemini, for their highest good? Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, and Gemini Dominant, third house dominant people. Spirit, what the curious seekers, the mercurial ones, need to know for their highest good in the month of April. Want to know any elements of the past that are pertinent for Gemini to their present and unfolding future. Anything, Spirit, that they need to know. Anything that you want to bring their awareness to, always in the name of their highest good. Want to know what kind of environment that Gemini is working with in the month of April and how they can best navigate it. If there's an action you want them to take, if there's a thought or something you want them to ponder, feel, explore, Spirit, want to know for their highest good what you want Gemini to do in the month of April. And Spirit, we want to know potential outcomes based on the past, the present, and their future choices. And we want to know the key to unlocking all the potential of April for Gemini's highest good, for their ease, peace, abundance, joy, love, fulfillment. Spirit. All right, let's see what we've got. Perfect. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Hey. Wow. Wow. Double your money. Act like you're in a fairy tale. A folk tale more specifically, because folk tales are a little more raw. I feel like that's why Spirit was saying that, as opposed to like a fairy tale, because we might think of modern fairy tales as very like easy and joyful. And yes, and there's work and there's darkness. Shadow creates dimension, right? So, what kind of protagonist are you in the story of April? A Page of Cups. Who would give the crust of bread? Who would untangle the snake? A Page of Cups. Someone with an open heart. Someone that other people might look at and say like, well, that's really fucking naive, or that's really childish and foolish of you to think that a snake could ever return a favor. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, fucking bully to you that you're prejudiced against snakes, that you let people using animals to describe human qualities, and you've made the mistake of now projecting that onto an entire species. Okay, you do you. I'm going to remain the open-hearted Page of Cups. So Gemini, an open heart, an emotionally available attitude serves you this month. Ace of Cups is sitting in your past. Page of Cups, Ace of Cups. You can also think of the past as a point of reference. Ace of Cups is a rush of emotion. It's like breaking down to, this is something Spirit is showing me, watching a movie and being so affected by it, and it's kind of like being taken by surprise, like just this wave of emotion, like, whoa, I am weeping here, I'm sobbing, or I'm laughing uncontrollably, or I find myself overcome with forgiveness for someone because I've never ever been able to see things from that perspective. These are all the different things they're showing me. The Ace of Cups changes the landscape of our life. It's an emotional breakthrough. And sometimes that can feel like a breakdown. Ten of Swords is sitting in the present. An ending. A necessary ending to a long, painful fight. A long, drawn out, like, argument back and forth. Spirit is using the word Machiavelli and Machiavellian. So some of you may have been dealing with somebody who like straight up idolizes and talks about Machiavelli. And for others of you, you may not ever know if they're really Machiavellian. They'll never have shared that they're into Machiavelli. They will just act in ways that are subtle, manipulative, like power plays. And I feel that a lot of you are choosing to detach, choosing to walk away from, choosing to allow the new landscape of like that Ace of Cups that is rushing into your life. You're going to allow that to nurse all of this dry, barren ground that is there in the Ten of Swords. So, oh, it's kind of like for some of you, heart, getting broken open. I'm hearing very specifically some of you are in therapy, and this could be one of the ways that like that Ace of Cups, like my heart is, breaking open, or I find myself more open and emotionally available because of the things that we're exploring in the work that we're doing here. And just at the same time as I'm becoming like more emotionally aware and available, a lot of times when that happens, call it out if any of you have had this experience. When you are really working on yourself, whether in therapy or on your own or whatever, and you're really sorting yourself out and you're emotionally healing yourself, sometimes that means coming to like facing that you have to put an end to something that is really fucking hard. It's like, damn, I don't want to lose this relationship on the course of loving and finding myself, but sometimes that is a cost, And I'll say this, the Ten of Swords represents a truth. A true, I've done everything that I can. You don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to look over your shoulder and wonder, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You did it all. You said it every way that you could. You demonstrated every way that you could. The Ten of Swords says it's done to death. It's done to death, and you can be done thinking about it now. So if some of you, your emotional truth or your emotional exploration has led you to, I can't talk to my family anymore, or I have to walk away from this situation, friendship, job, relationship, because there's nothing for me here. And that is how you will know this, is that every time you might try to go to it and try to get any kind of comfort, or Spirit is using the word succor, not like you're a sucker, S-U-C-C-O-R, like nourishment. Anytime you might try to go to this thing for nourishment or to see if maybe this time it's dry. The well is dry. This is not even like the Eight of Cups where it's like there's something in there, it's just stagnant. It's like there's nothing in there. This has lost its shine. And ooh, Spirit is singing that Gordon Lightfoot song. If you could read my mind, love. Y'all know which one I'm talking about? It's fucking sad as fuck. So some of you might be experiencing one of the most heartbreaking things one can experience, which is falling out of love while you still love somebody. It's like, damn, I want to be able to love you, stick with you, grow with you, but I'm when I go to the well, it's dry. And I'm pumping, I'm trying, but I've seen the truth and the well is dry. That's just what I'm hearing for some of you. If that does not resonate with you, that is not for you, okay, Gemini? If it brings up panic and questions, that is probably for some other Gemini. Go ahead and let that go. There are a few different people listening to this video, okay? So if it's not you, it's not you. Don't worry about it. So this is the art of interpretation. For some of you, it's, I really wanted this job to work out, or I really wanted this endeavor to work out, and I tried everything. I did everything that I could, and I see that it's done to death. You don't need to worry, because it is far from over. The sun, for one thing, always note, in the back of the Ten of Swords, the sun is always coming up. It's darkest before the dawn. That is the truth. It's darkest before the dawn, and sitting in your future, another ace, Ace of Pentacles. If you thought the time and the possibility of new beginnings was over, incorrect. In fact, the more you get rid of dead weight and things that are just taking up mental and emotional space and not giving you anything, the more you create space for beautiful new things to enter your life. It's a little bit like the amazing energetic karma of being brave enough to say, I'm not using all of these objects in my house, or I'm not wearing any of these clothes, I haven't in years. I'm going to go ahead and donate them. I'm going to go ahead and give them away. I'm going to go ahead and be brave enough to think that if I'm not using this and it really is literally just taking up space, that something beautiful will come to fill up the space because I have been brave enough to give away these objects, or this relationship that's no longer functioning, or this job that doesn't suit me anymore. And I bless someone else with this. I will be blessed in turn with something that is more befitting of where I am now, who I am now. Trust that. Believe that. Ace of Pentacles says it can even come in the form of money. Spirit said double your money. What about like, what is 9 times your money? I'm not up on my Latin, okay? Multiply that ace times 9. Sitting in the position representing the guidance for you. 9 of Pentacles, believe in yourself. Trust in your experience. Reflect on what you've been able to achieve and grow and build for yourself up until now. And actually give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. You got the 9 of Pentacles as your guidance. You got the 9 of Wands as a potential outcome. And importantly, the 10 of Wands sitting in the key position. 9s and 10s, 9s and 10s. The verge of completion and completion. 9 of Pentacles, I have more than enough for myself. I've actually done really well for myself. I can look around and reflect and be proud of the tangible rewards I've created, and you will multiply them when you act like you know how to multiply them. When you believe in yourself, when you trust in your skills, when you appreciate how far you have come, it is a lot easier to keep going. That is something that Spirit is saying. So if you haven't been reflecting and appreciating, that is something that you want to do. You want to count your blessings and really appreciate, pun intended, appreciate the fuck out of your blessings and your assets. 9 of Wands is something that you think, oh, there's no way I could ever get there. I've been working at this for so long. This is different than the 10 of Swords, because there is still energy and passion and juice in the 9 of Wands, okay? There ain't no juice in the 10 of Swords. There's something else that you wanted. Perhaps it is even the thing that lies on the other side of letting go of these 10 swords. So it's like that relationship that you never thought that you'd ever be able to have, or that career milestone or experience that you didn't think you were going to be able to have. That actually becomes available as you free yourself from this thing that is taking up so much bandwidth. And the key, 10 of Wands, you're actually much closer than you think to your golden fleece. Look at the Ten of Wands card, this version of the card. The golden fleece that Jason and the Argonauts went searching for in the Greek myth. The golden fleece, the prize, the victory is just outside of your reach. But you are weighed down by a lot of expectations of yourself, by a lot of expectations of others. Some of these you can drop. And that's just what Spirit is saying. So yes, you can't drop necessarily, right? Not all of us can drop a job or an ailing family member that we have to take care of or whatever it is. But there are certain things that you can drop and delegate. Like, oh, you know what? I'm usually available for that conversation with that friend who can be a little bit parasitic. I'm not available for that right now. I'm actually going to drop that wand so that I have more bandwidth to address these other things that I'm actually passionate about. So delete, delegate, defer. This can wait until next month. Yes, I want to get this big project done, but I can get these 3 little projects done if I push that one that isn't as time sensitive to May. Okay? Delete, delegate, defer. Act like you're in a folk tale. When we are brave enough to leave behind things that are not befitting of us anymore, new things come in. A blessing comes in when you let the old thing die and you are brave enough to walk into the dawn. It's not easy. It is not easy to give up on something that we tried really hard for. But there's something else that you definitely don't need to give up on, and it becomes available only when you stop dragging this dead weight of this old shit behind you. You feel me? Believe in yourself. You have everything that you need. 9 of Pentacles. You have what you need. You're standing on your own 2 feet, and you can do it. Speaking of standing on your own 2 feet, another 9, an undercover 9, the Hermit, the original 9. Self. Self-focused, self-piloted, individuated, using your inner inner light to guide you. Again, like the Page of Cups, like anybody else would say, don't untangle that snake. What are you thinking? But the Page of Cups goes by their heart, not by their head. Your head might have been misleading you, 10 of Swords, trying to convince you of all kinds of things and make rationalizations and this, that, and the other thing. My heart says, I want to do this. This is the right thing. This fills me with joy and excitement and thought of possibility. Follow your heart. Trust your own light. Live life like you're in a folk tale. Live life like you're the good and the bad that you put into the world matters and comes back around because it just fucking does. Okay. Thank you for being here, Gemini. I really hope that this is helpful for you. Curious if you have any reflections, any thoughts about this. Like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you vibe, and I hope I will catch you at the Saturday Live. No rhyme intended. Bye, Gemini.